Yo, what's up? I'm now sitting in a Polestar 2, the new one, the 2024, yeah, with a big battery. But okay, this video is not about that one. It's about Highland again. So, you know, I had some videos in the past. They got lots of views. It's awesome. But there are some more details I forgot to mention, or simply the video would be too long. So I figured that I can split it out in a separate video here for people who are deeply interested in Highland. We're talking about the Tesla Model 3 Highland, by the way. So let me see, where do I start? Let me start with a few things before I forget the shorter things. You know, the tailgate, initially, in the previous one, the tailgate had only one motor on one side. Now it has two motors, one on each side, and that is better. By the way, yeah, I forgot, before I forget it, I talked to a guy from Tesla at that event. So I got the information right from him. He was super nice and super knowledgeable. Like, I asked him any question, he could answer it with deep detail, you know? He wasn't some salesperson, he was probably some engineer or so. He knew his shit, to put it that way. And it was incredibly valuable for me to get that information directly from Tesla rather than trying to speculate on anything, right? But okay, but a little disclaimer that I might say something wrong here, so don't take my word 100%, but at least from what I remember from the conversation. And also, he didn't want me to record him, but it was okay for me to refer to that I spoke to someone in Tesla about this. Okay, so at least he showed me that, yeah, there are two motors in the rear hitch thing, right? And that is better for getting, actually, the hitch becomes smoother when you open and close it, and also quieter. And also for alignment, is that instead of force pushing the tailgate on one side, it's now pushing evenly on both sides. So why do I mention this? Well, at least Pavel asked me beforehand. I remember I asked Pavel, hey, what do you want me to check? And he's like, check the lift gate. Okay, apparently some people care about it. So yeah, hopefully we get slightly less panel gap on the tail there, because now it's better with two motors. But okay, and what else? Next topic, let me see, I try to walk through less, yeah, okay, another one that is shorter is, you know, I highlighted that in the cabin, there were lots of soft materials, and they have put fabric on pretty much everything, so you won't find any harsh, or like here, I mean, if I can show you maybe. Yeah, I know you see my hand rough, you know. This part here also has some, not smooth, but there are plastic parts in this Polestar that is 100% smooth, which means that if you pour ketchup there, you can just wipe it off with ease, right? That kind of smoothness, if it's plastic or something. But if you have something like this that is somewhat, yeah, you can hear the voice, as you can hear the noise. It has some texture, some fabric. If you pour ketchup there, then it might be slightly harder to get it off. And why do I mention this? Well, to give you an idea of what kind of material I'm talking about, because I'm not a material expert, unlike the guys at Monroe. But this is important, because in the past, I talk about this, you know, when it comes to acoustics and sound dampening. I noticed in Model 3 and Model Y, especially those cars, they have a lot of glass, but they also had a lot of, or at least to some extent, many smooth surfaces, and they bounce off and they reflect high frequencies. You could even hear the difference when I was sitting in a Model 3, Model Y. You can hear that echo. It has, we're talking about probably just milliseconds of echo, not like a long echo like in a big concert hall, but that echo, if I clap, you could almost hear it. In this Polestar, it doesn't have that much, even though it has some glass on the top. But most other cars, they don't have that much echo. But this is not the case for example, Model S. Model S is slightly different design and on the surfaces, so they don't have that one. But okay, but for Highland, Tesla specifically told me about this. You know, many things I talk about with the Tesla guy, it is as if they watch my video and took note and improved the Highland, or they improved the car and made the Highland based on my feedback, right? So they supposedly fixed this. We will find out eventually once I sit in the Highland and then drive around with it. And when I try to clap or you just hear my sound, my voice, you will probably hear that the voice is more dampened. And you know, I knew this. And for example, every time you hear that intro in front of my video, like, oh, this video was brought to you by ABRP planner, you know, I intentionally did not record that clip in a Tesla, or in a Model 3 or Model Y. I think I waited until I had a Mercedes EQS, or it was the BMW i7 or something. I went for those high-end cars because they have really nice and dampened cabin. And my point is that supposedly Highland, they went far to get those dampened material or surfaces, so that you get an overall better experience soundproofing wise. Yeah. So this is the kind of things I did not have time to talk about in the previous video, but I will explain deeper what it means. Yeah, in my channel you always get the deepest explanations. Yeah. And then over to a topic that actually requires a lot of attention and people were obsessed about: top speed. The Tesla guy also mentioned that. He talked a lot about how they prioritize to get more comfort and better soundproofing. And we already seen that in Model 3 and Model Y. The first Model 3, you know, MC Hammer Model 3 Performance from 2019 in Europe. It was harsh. It was really harsh. I was bitching about this when I went to Lapland with 19-inch wheels. That was even 19, not 20-inch. And those bumps, man, those bumps caused by frost, we call it telehiv, frostbite or something. Those were harsh. But the 2021-2022 Model 3 was a lot better. They softened it out a little bit. Same with the Model Y. What I heard is that they went even further, and I could feel it during my test ride, that they softened it up a little bit more. And you know, Tesla, they have lots of data. They are collecting data anonymously about the fleet. So they know what people are doing with them. They don't know who does what, but they just know what people accumulated data about them. And they probably found out that most people don't use track mode. Most people don't drive faster than 200 kilometers per hour, you know. And I'm not sure, but I think I even heard that. Wait, I need to swap an anti filter. I think I even know that Tesla, they can figure out how many people use the Panorama roof, or you know, the sunroof in the classic Model S. They can even find out how many people open and close them, and if they went into vent mode or open it completely. And based on that, they figured out that most people don't open them, and that's probably why they made just a glass roof that cannot be open. You know, this Polestar also has just a glass roof that cannot be open, and many other cars are also like this. I-Pace, the MEB cars, ID4, so it's not really a disadvantage to only have a fixed glass roof. You still get the openness, and you then leave out the mechanic stuff that can fail, because the Model S had lots of failure with lots of problems with the Panorama roof. But it was nice and luxury or premium to have that kind of roof. Yeah, true. But so anyway, back to my point. Tesla knows all this, and that's probably how Tesla bases it on that. They want to optimize the car more for comfort, because they probably figure out that most customers care more about comfort than track performance on the cars. So yeah, many people were bitching about that. Oh shit, man, it can only go 200 kilometers per hour, a little bit over 200, you know. Yeah, but I mean, how many people drive faster than 200? I will drive faster than 200, but maybe the remaining 99.9%, they never go that fast. Or even if they hammer it, they might only go 150 or 180 kilometers per hour. So in that regard, it doesn't matter, right? And also, yeah, but me as a speed demon, I can see that having a high burst speed, a burst top, I don't need to stay at 200 for too long, but I just want to be able to go 200 for 10 to 30 seconds in Germany, of course, to do something, and then I can kick down and cruise at 150 or 170 instead. So yeah, you don't get that ability to go 230 anymore, you know. But on the other hand, the Tesla wasn't that fast to go to 230 anyway, unless you have a plaid. So, in what I'm saying is that Tesla probably chose they might lose a couple of customers, a couple of speed demons, who was just like, no, that's not good enough for them. Okay, fine, you can go for another brand instead that goes faster, but they will gain a lot more customers who want the comfort, you know, who test drove the old Tesla and like, oh, this is too harsh, you know. That's what I'm thinking. And also, maybe Tesla wants to differentiate more between the standard one and the performance, because I heard some rumors that there will eventually be a performance Highland. And when you think about this, the previous Model 3 before Highland, there was a difference between performance and the long range, but the difference wasn't that big. And especially if you went for acceleration boost with the long range, then it became somewhere in the between there. And yeah, well, what do you get with the performance? You get the spoiler. You could even get the aftermarket spoiler for the long range also if you want, but you get track mode in the performance, and you get the bigger, fatter brakes. Yeah, but in a way, the difference wasn't night and day there. But maybe they're trying to make a bigger difference now, you know. So okay, you can go 200 with a long range, and then the Highland performance, maybe then you can go 260, right? Maybe other goodies. No? Yeah, maybe by doing that, they will still harvest customers who wants the speed, who are speed demons, but then they still farm on lots of the other 99.9% who just want comfort, and they will never go on the track, or they will never hammer on the autobahn anyway, right? So yeah, that's at least my 2 cents about this. Let me see now if there are other topics I should have discussed. Nobody will buy. I'm looking at the live stream chat now. There's people talking about, oh, nobody will buy long range anymore. Yeah, when it comes to headlights, by the way, that was also mentioned by the Tesla guy. He said that the headlights are slightly different, but they should still be more or less the same as before. But there was not mentioned anything about the matrix stuff. But me personally, I think that the matrix stuff will be enabled by software, because we have seen it that Tesla can write Tesla on the wall during the light show. So it seems like already from 2021 or something, right? Second half of 2021, you could already, those headlights are already matrix, the hardware is matrix capable. It's just that Tesla is taking the time to do some hardware, some software stuff. Yeah, maybe, I don't know, neural network, AI enable matrix lights that will blow your mind, you know. Yeah, I actually think that once Tesla releases matrix light, it will just be beyond today's market. This is just speculation from me, of course, because I've seen it in the past. Tesla, they just didn't slap down a regular heat pump. They worked hard, and they got the octovalve and the heat scavenging, and you know, like the fan, the interior fan can generate heat. You know, lots of components in the Tesla Model 3, Model Y can generate heat. So they actually, supposedly when I emailed the HVAC team also at Tesla, directly from Tesla, they claim that they got away by not having a PTC heater. Most modern EVs today, they have a PTC heater plus heat pump, but they have a very traditional approach on everything. But Tesla, they just go beyond and yeah, and save cost and save weight, and still makes it incredibly good. And I'm not just what the heck? I'm not just saying this randomly, you know. I have actually been in a Model 3 and in, well, at least Model 3, when it was minus 25 degrees Celsius. And I've seen it. I've looked into the BMS, I've looked into the CAN bus and seen how the car will manage the battery and not cause any limp mode or shit like that, like the Neo did, you know, when it was only minus 20 outside. So what I'm saying is that Tesla seems to do things like their own way, and they seem to really put their soul into it. To once they implement something, it's gonna kick ass for the Lord, just like Octovalve. And that's why I also think that the matrix lights from Tesla will be probably way better than other systems. But I could be wrong. Who knows? Yeah. But like even this Polestar I'm driving now, here it has awesome matrix headlights. But do you know what? During the 1,000 kilometer challenge, I was flashed at a lot. You know, like it would be politically wrong for me to say it was freaking blitzkrieg, but I was flashed at all the time because this system turns down the light way too late. I saw oncoming cars at night in Sweden when it was pitch dark. I saw them, and this car did not turn down the lights, and the oncoming cars, they were annoyed and they flashed at me eventually, and then that flash triggered this one to turn down the lights. So I believe that if Tesla uses some AI or some shit, you know, fleet, yeah, whatever, the horde, whatever it's called again, they can probably implement a system that will not annoy the heck out of people. But it might take some time because today's Tesla automated system, auto high beam is shit. It's super shit. It turns on the high beam when it shouldn't, and so yeah, all right. Maybe I'm running out of speech time now, but I wonder if I forgot anything. I will ask the live stream if I forgot anything. But I just want to give you guys as much input as possible about the Highland and the Tesla guy I talked to about the Highland. So maybe I can also mention one more thing about you know, that lip that poked out from the door, under the door. They did that to improve side impact. Yeah. And another thing I just remember now. Yeah. Now I think I shot the video, but I forgot to include it in the clip because I thought I shot a new one, but I didn't. But okay. The tailgate, or the tail, now it doesn't have the split tail anymore. So when you open the tailgate at night, you can't see the tailgate from behind, and then because of EU regulations, you have to have some light there for safety. So actually the two fog lights on the rear lights up, yeah, and that conforms with the safety. And then yeah, I have a clip on it, and then once you close the tail light, then the fog lights turn off, and then you see again behind there. So yeah, what else is it? I can also mention that I think I didn't have time to show you, but the ambient light, the LED strip, you can change color on it, but you cannot change intensity on it. That is a big minus in my opinion. And I think there must be separate segments, the door side and the front side, but you cannot control them individually. But if Tesla wants to improve this, you know, just like in the Mercedes EQS, you can adjust 4 different groups individually. You have the front I think it's called, I don't remember. You have some accent light, you have something in the center console door, right? You can control them individually, and you can change at least, okay, color, you can have some option with color, but you can change the intensity individually between those 4 groups, or you can link them, of course. So I believe that Tesla can do this via software and allow you to turn off the front one. You can have, some people say, yeah, we can have it on red. Yeah, you can have it on red, but some people don't want it at all. So if you can at least turn off that one, but still keep the side ones, the one on the door, front door and rear door, lit up at night, that will be awesome. Yeah, that would be great. Yeah. And another thing, like I pointed out so many times, is that this Polestar 2, again, as an example, I have tested so many cars in the past. So I have, I might be the one person who has tested the most cars, electric cars out there. I'm not sure if other testers have done that much, but so I keep referring to other cars all the time because I've seen it all, right? This Polestar 2, for example, when I'm looking back now, you know that the interior lights, right now in the daytime, they seem to be off, but they're actually not completely off. I see there's a little bit of light there. Yeah, also in the rear. Oh, they are actually open. I mean, they are on. So at night, it's that moonlight, you know? It lights up at very low intensity, and it works as ambient light, kind of, because it gives you that dim feeling in the back. And Tesla could do this already with existing Tesla. They could do it, or hopefully if the hardware allows you to do it, they could dim it at the lowest intensity possible for that LED. And in that way, you can light up the cabin. I mean, Tesla engineers, if you're listening, just try this on a dark road at night, and you will see that a little bit of light will actually light up enough for that your night vision can see where your potato is. It's very important to see your potato at night, you know, so you don't grab something wrong. You don't grab the wrong potato at night. Yeah, because other cars have it. Like, look, my BMW or the other BMWs I tried, you know, the BMW iX3. There is a little light in the top that shines down towards the gear stalk and other things in the center console. That one is actually by default orange, I think on purpose, because orange is probably better for night vision. But yeah, Tesla can solve a lot of things, or they can improve the cars a lot by software. Many cars I tested in the past, they can improve a lot by software, but they don't seem to care or want to improve it. But at least Tesla can, because they are Taycan. Okay, but yeah, so I think I remember most of it now, right? About Highland. I'm trying to think if there was anything else. No, okay, there was one thing. I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but I'm gonna mention it anyway. Also the Tesla guy mentioned that the rear seats, they are not ventilated, but they are perforated, and they found during test that the perforations does actually help. It helps for your back and your fabric to breathe a little bit so that you don't become that sweaty. So that is important. And we just happen to be sitting in a Polestar now, and I mentioned this before that I tend to get sweaty in the Tesla seat. It's just something about the material they use, the old one. And now with ventilated seat, they basically solve it. And with the Polestar, it's actually even worse with the Polestar. If you get the default, the included fabric seat, there's some kind of recycled stuff, black thing, it is too sweaty. I get sweaty in the Polestar seat. Now I'm sitting in the, well, this one just happened to have the leather seat with perforation and ventilation, and it's way, way better, especially today when it's 23 degrees Celsius outside and sunny. So, yeah, what I'm saying is that the material, the previous Model 3 wasn't that great when it comes to the seat sweatiness, but the new one should be way better. So, and again, you know, yeah, who am I supposed to? I mean, who the heck are you, right? Teslabjorn. Well, I've tested so many cars in the past, and I'm basing my feedback and my knowledge on all the experience with all the cars I've tested. So the more cars I test, the more knowledge I have. And I'm, you know, when I actually say that the cars, I mean, the seat is sweaty, you can find that yourself. You can sit in a Polestar or in the old Tesla in a sunny day, and you will feel it the same. But the Polestar was even worse, because even when it was not that sunny, when I had the storm bag jacket on, it was sweaty. So okay, but I'm rambling too much now. But yeah, I'm just trying to go as deep as possible and explain. Because one thing is I can just explain in a very short way, yeah, it's this, it's that, but then some people might not believe me, or some people might not understand why it is like that. Yeah. Okay, but anyway, I think I'm just gonna end it now. I actually skipped going to Circle K because the speech must go on, but I will probably just pee in the bush somewhere up in the mountain instead. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, I hope this was useful input for you as maybe a future Highland owner. And yeah, was it something else I should have remembered about? I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to think now. What was it that people? Yeah, okay, stocks. Yeah, I'm not sure what I should say about the stock. Lots of people are complaining about the stocks. I still agree that the lack of stock is a disadvantage. And the people say, but no, you can just use the turns. You get used to it. Muscle memory. Try muscle memory in the middle of the roundabout. When the steering wheel is at different angles, try to hit the turn signal there. You know what the heck? This car is bugging me because the phone is not charging. It's slightly off. Yeah, sorry. The phone is slightly off the wireless pad, and then it bugs me. But okay, yeah. So no, there should be stocks there. Really, the lack of stock is a disadvantage. But okay, you can get used to it. Yeah. What you'd probably have to end up doing is to not use the turn signal that much or accurately when you're in roundabouts. But hopefully there might be some companies out there who will make stocks, third-party stocks, and then it's connected to OBD, OBD port. So yeah, it's kind of silly, right, that you have to go like that. But yeah, okay, well, if that's the way to go, yeah, then that could solve the problem. But yeah, other than that, okay, now I think I think that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you for watching, and talk to you later.